With the announcement of Planet Coaster 2, I decided it was time for me to use my 1700 hours to use by making my first and last amusement park in Planet Coaster 1 named Bridgeport. In this episode, we start construction on the entrance in the B&M Invert, so let's get to it. Oh, that was cringe. So this is going to be the start of my first and final park in Planet Coaster, which is called Bridgeport. Yeah, it looks great, doesn't it? So this is the first save that I have. Not really much going on right now. We have the B&M Invert place right here, which is obviously heavily inspired by Monster at Grona Lund. I'll get more into detail why it's so inspired by this. This whole park is actually going to be inspired by Monster, or not Monster, by Grona Lund. So we have the little ticket office right here, a lighthouse, and the main entrance. So this whole park is supposed to be in Southern California, like on a beach, hence why the small blueprint. Basically my envision is that all over here is just water, like the ocean, and then this park is perched onto that like cliffside. There's going to be a harbor over here that I'll probably flesh out, hence why there's going to be a like heavy beachy theme throughout this whole project. So this B&M Invert is inspired by Monster just because I was on a trip to Europe and we went to Grona Lund, and that park was just so like weird and interesting, but Monster was just like amazing. My home park's not, and I'm not used to having a B&M Invert with an actual drop, and I was sitting literally like 6th row. I can actually simulate exactly where I was right here. I was sitting and I got whipped over that drop, and I was expecting a pure drop, but boom, I just got whipped over. So I wanted to recreate that, and I like the idea of flying over all these buildings, which you'll see in future save. Oh, that's, ignore that. There's gonna be a bunch of floating stuff. As you can see, there's this floating as well. Just trying to figure out where I should place that. Yeah, so I like the idea of like just flying and going through all these different buildings, which you'll see that I fleshed out later on, but these are just rough markings. So I have a little swing over here. I have, this used to actually be the entrance, surprisingly. Hold on, we'll go back into here. If you want to see where it looked like, it actually looked kind of weird. I'm glad I changed it. The entrance actually looked like this, like something, well actually the lighthouse was like in between it, right? So it looked like this for a while because I was looking up inspiration pictures, and I really like this like stilty thing on top and then these houses on top, but I kind of thought that it looked too depressing. Like it just looked so anticlimactic for like an actual park, and I didn't like how you could really just see straight through it. You could just see everything. So instead I preferred having this as the entrance because it kind of blocked the vision more and it just looked more grand. Obviously this isn't fully finished, but yeah, this is just a really rough start to this park. It's honestly crazy just looking at it because we don't finish this whole park. I mean, not this whole park. We don't finish this whole part. Like we don't finish the station or like much of the custom supporting, but we get so far that it's just like, you know, seeing it just bare bones is just crazy. So I guess we'll go on to the next save. So now we're in the next save, and as you can see, it looks way more advanced. I didn't even know that I got this far in this next save. So to begin with, I have a way better drop-off system. I actually don't know how good this is, but you know, I'll probably just change it around and make it more like drivable. So first of all, I was over here trying to play around with making a sign. This is all scaled horribly. To begin with, the front entrance this is actually how far the front entrance gets in the final product. We have this nice big building here, which I'm honestly not sure what I'll use it for. I'm sure I'll use probably here this door as sort of a bathroom. You'll walk in and it'll split up into 2 bathrooms. I was thinking over here we might have to make guest services or something, but this is not like, there's no signs yet for it. By the end of this video. So then we have the turnstiles in the entrance building. We have this little splash effect that was up in the ground or in the sky and is now on the ground. And then we have these little palm tree setups with the 2 fountains that make it kind of like little like curve thing. And then we have these little bollards for the drop-off area. This is heavily inspired by Knott's, which I think I already said is my home park. So when we go in, there's already quite the difference. First of all, we have this carousel, which I don't think was there before. We have these 2 drop towers, which was not, I don't think was there before either. This thing is still here. And then I think this was over here originally, is now over there. We also have a rough layout of the park. This obviously does not make sense to you guys, but it makes sense to my mind. So yeah. And then this is probably the coolest part so far, is you can see the really rough blocking out of the amusement park. Yeah, this went through multiple iterations. If I can try finding, there's a really weird iteration it went through. But as you can see, we have this big tower now, which is going to be the main like restaurant of the park. Basically, it'll have this outdoor deck right underneath the ride. And then yeah, I really wanted to be like this thing where right when you walk through, you just see this nice, beautiful building. And then this is going to be the start of the alleyway looking area where the entrance, spoiler alert, will be here. Or not here. No, spoiler alert, the entrance will be into this building. This is just a really, in my opinion, a cool way to see how I just see like the process of it being all blocked out before obviously you'll see at the end of the video when it's all fleshed out with actual buildings. So yeah, I think that's mainly all that has changed. I just was really trying to work on blocking this out. I spent a lot of time playing around with a whole different structure over here. I'm hoping I can find an autosave, but I don't think I will. But it looked way different. I had buildings going up and down. It was supposed to look like a gigantic fishing village with like, in my mind, I had a bunch of bridges going everywhere. But in the history of this park, I kind of imagined that this park would have just added this B&M Invert before, like recently, like in Grona Lund. And before, the park just looked like this with these buildings. And the newest building, which you'll see in the final one, which it's probably better if I explain there, but I'll explain briefly here. This building would have been new because this is the whole like entrance area, and this half of the building would have been new as well, but everything else would have existed before. And you can kind of imagine how this part might have been just this big grassy area. The idea here, which isn't fully fleshed out, but the idea is there at the end, is that this is a deck, and then you'll have the bathroom right here because there's limited space. Because since this is perched up a bit, the kitchen would be actually like in the basement area, so servers would have to just walk upstairs or something like that. I'm not really sure yet, but yeah, this is all a dining area, and that means that there would need to be a bathroom somewhere, which I thought would be kind of cool if you had to walk out, which you'll see obviously later on. This is supposed to be an admin building, and yeah, so basically the park just had to build around the existing infrastructure with only adding this one building. So you could imagine there would just be a giant plaza here, and they built a coaster just going in and out of these buildings around this gigantic grass patch. And yeah, so that is this save. Well, this is the start of the little indent in the ground. It's not really a tunnel, but I don't really know what to call it. And also, because this is inspired by Monster at Grona Lund, the station is going to be underground. I'm telling you, this is an exact ripoff of Monster. And yeah, that's basically everything new. So yeah, I guess we'll go on to the next save where I think we'll see some more progress in the building. So since this is my first video, realize this next save is literally the same, or basically not exactly the same. I mean, the only big difference is I started fleshing out these 2 buildings. These get pretty much finished. I also start fixing up this tunnel right here. I added more custom supports, right? So I think this one sort of exists, but I changed it up. And we have all these custom supports through here. This is where you'll start seeing the the Grona Lund inspiration right here with these same supports. And then we moved this the old entrance way closer here. And basically the plan is that this is going to be a little boardwalk area, and this is going to be a western area. The idea is that when you're going back into like the harbor fishing area, you'll go underneath these like stilts, right? And then you also have this really just cool view of the, oh wow, that's a really nice view, I've never seen this, where you see it going through the corkscrew into this turnaround. But yeah, not much has happened. Oh, and also this queue line has also been finished going through this building. So basically, like I said earlier, this building would have been new, right? And then I also got the exit figured out, where basically they would have had a retrofit this. I'm kind of assuming here this would have been a gift shop anyways, so they kind of just had to like do some construction in the back half to make a staircase fit through. I fixed up the pathing in a later update, and then yeah, so that's basically all that happened in this update. So this right here is the update that I thought last update was gonna be. We finally got some buildings now. So right, we're walking through this entrance. We got more supports, I think. I don't think that support beam was there. And then as we walk into this alleyway, we got some buildings now. It looks more fleshed out. You're seeing the coaster fly by you. I say that, but the train's literally not flying by. That would have been a perfectly timed moment. Oh, right here. Right, you're seeing this train just fly overhead. I got these little, I forgot what they're called. Oh my gosh, I can't speak English. I think they're dormers, but that's probably wrong. More of the heavy inspiration from Monster with the support beam. And then we just have these more fleshed out buildings. These take lots of inspiration from a part in Southern California in, I think, Newport. Oh no, Long Beach, yes. These take a lot of inspiration from, or this building at least, not really, actually, it's only this. This takes inspiration from a building in Long Beach. And yeah, it's just really nice. We have more, like, sort of a story with the Bridgeport Fishing Company. But I want to make sure I stay away from story. There's nothing going to be so much of a story in any of these rides besides one that I have in mind. But yeah, I just really wanted to look really nice. We got this nice little yellow building. Like I said, this is the exit to the ride. I fixed the pathing, right? Yeah, I fixed the pathing in this one. So, oh, I also fleshed out this exit a bit more, adding a roof. We got this other building right here, which I'm honestly not sure what's gonna happen inside. This probably just be like a little, I was thinking an ice cream shop or something like that with some fake stairs. Actually, that reminds me, I need to add some chain fence thing right there. And then we have this gigantic building, which probably this top half wouldn't be an actual building. I would suppose it'd only be this bottom half, because this is actually a support structure. Actually, I don't know if this would work in real life, having these supports being directly connected to a building, but you know, it's a game, right? So this would be another building right here, and this would have been the new building added in addition to the roller coaster. So we can imagine that this was all not here before, right? And then this would just kind of just cut off into this gigantic plaza with this Crazy type coaster. I don't know what it's actually called. At Six Flags Magic Mountain, it's called Crazy, so in my heart it's called Crazy. But this is what I was talking about in the bathroom. This changes up a little bit, but basically you have to walk in this little deck to get to the bathroom. And I mainly wanted to add something here so then it looks like the coaster had to go up right here, because it just seems like a kind of weird step up when it could have just gone like flat all the way around and then gone up right here for some airtime. So I kind of wanted it to be like where after this helix it had to step up to dodge something. And then besides that, I think this is in the last update, but I forgot to say, these are some more blocked out buildings right here. I started adding some mulch around here. I finished this part of the tunnel at least, or I don't even know, divot in the whole, I don't know what to call this. But this is taking inspiration, I think, from Monster's like where it goes up the lift hill, you know how it goes up underneath, it has like a little staircase with gardening, so I kind of like that, so I just kind of stole that in for here. And yeah, so that's basically it, and we will go off to the next save, which I think will basically almost finish everything, or might finish everything. So this is the penultimate save. I think penultimate's the right word, or I'm just really stupid. So there is some more. We currently have a Tedcam janitor, and yeah, so first of all, we finished off the planter around here, which it looks so much nicer with all this greenery around here. We got some don't die fencing. We finished blocking off this little area, and then we add the entrance building. Now, I actually took no inspiration on this building. I honestly just, since the shape of it was so weird, I was really struggling to figure out what I should do with the roof, because at first I didn't know if I should just have this flat roof, or not this flat, but this slightly sloped roof just go all the way around. But obviously that doesn't work well, because then you'd have like some parts hanging over each other and just look weird. But then I decided to go with this more like 2 main like roofs jut out, and then have this like surrounding all around, and I think it turned out pretty well. It kind of gives off like, I don't know, a clubhouse feel, because it is like 2 stories all around, and then you have obviously this little perch out here. This is what the inside looks like. I'm gonna let you know this inside does not get finished, nor does the railings. We colored this Crazy Identity ride, but don't know if it's staying these colors. And then over here, we finished adding these, there's a name for these, but like the decking or whatever you want to call it. We finished adding that here, and this is what I don't like, I'm not too confident about, and I don't know if I'll change that. We added these little archeries here to keep it very open. I want this building to feel really open, just because it's kind of a small building anyways, to have dining in here, dining in here, and dining in here. For this to be the main restaurant, I feel like, you know, I want it to feel really open in a kind of claustrophobic area. Also, this little light reminded me at nighttime. So at nighttime, we have this little light here. Don't really know how I feel about it. I really want to keep it to where there's like a light shining on it, but I just think I need to finish up the trims here to make it look nicer. Yeah, that's basically all that happened. Also, we have this little bridge set up here that goes all the way around. Well, that will go all the way around down into the station. We added some, I think, the final custom supports that are going in for this app. Oh, actually, no. I had some supports here. Yeah, so that's basically all that happens in this update. And the next update will be the final update. And we're in the final save. So, you can just imagine, you know, walking your way into this amazing amusement park, seeing these drop towers overhead, seeing the floating B&M Invert, which will eventually get custom supported over there with these palm trees. You get to the entrance. So first of all, the sign will be updated, hopefully. I just started messing around with TMTK and just whipped this up kind of quick. Obviously in the thumbnail, you'll see like the actual design, which is sort of this, but obviously not just stretched out for some reason. I don't know, it looks so bad on this screen, but it's supposed to look like that one right there. So obviously I need to work on TMTK a bit more, but I'm just glad that I figured it out today, and hopefully by next episode we should have a final sign in. As you're walking in, you have the, ooh, that's annoying. You have the grand carousel thing. It's not really that grand, it's the little Venetian carousel. And then you'll see, first, right when you walk in, you'll see these gigantic drop towers, which I really like. Nice concrete building, which needs to get fixed up. And then, yeah, you'll see the B&M Invert flying every which way. So first we have this red building, which is sort of finished. This purple building, which is completely finished. Oh, look at that go. Purple building. Oh, wait, no, it's not finished. Whoa. Okay, I need to add some more stuff here. I'm not really trying to upload these episodes whenever I feel like it's finished. I just kind of want to upload them when it's a work in progress. So then we have this exit area, which will have a hopefully fully fleshed out gift shop right here. Then you have the ice cream shop, which I've now decided it's an ice cream shop in the last 2 minutes of me recording. We have the new addition, this little tower with the supports holding up the coaster. We have the entrance building, which obviously takes a lot of inspiration from Monster again. With, I think in Monster though, you go inside the building before you step up, but you know, we step up here. Imagine this all decked out. Oh wow, that's very interesting. Yeah, all of this decked out. We have a nice little archer here, and then we walk on this bridge. You can just imagine when this is all completely finished, like especially over here. Oh, I also added the ocean. Yep, we have an ocean now. And then, you know, you'll walk down to the station. You'll have a nice view of the lift hill. You'll have a nice view of this element here, which actually I need to talk about. This element over here has been heightened. In the beginning, this was really flat and was pulling some crazy, like, well, I know the G-forces in the game are not that accurate, but I can just tell it was pulling some crazy G-forces. So this was inspired by that like little turnaround right after the loop in Silver Bullet, which is just a really like interesting element for a B&M Invert. So yeah, we just have this little like more banked and more floaty, slower element. And then back in Teddycam, we have, I really like this planner. I don't know why. I just really like the shots of just all this greenery all around. You know, in the history of this park, I would assume that the plot of land this is on is just used to be a parking lot, which the parking lot will be moved to the other side of this circle. So basically this area over here will be the parking lot, and there's going to be a little truss bridge that probably lands around somewhere over here that connects the entrance to the parking lot. You also have, I set up this little pier area now, which will be going around the whole park. And then boom, you're at this big plaza. I'll probably add a building right here just because I don't want the plaza to be too big. But you'll have a nice entrance to Sundial too. And then you'll be able to get back over to this main street if you want to, right here. Which I honestly just really love this main street because you could just imagine how it looked. Yeah, let's put this back up. Without the coaster here, like, you know, and without, technically ignore this green entrance building and the bridge, but you could honestly imagine that this used to be what the park used to look like before everything happened. None of these holes would have been here, but then now, you know, we kind of just got this gigantic B&M Invert flying all around, and I just really like that. So yeah, that's kind of it. Hopefully you enjoyed the first video of this amusement park. Hopefully the first of many, and I don't quit. Yeah, I realized that I've never finished an amusement park in this game, and I really want to get that done before the sequel gets released, which hopefully I should be able to, because this is more of a mini park anyways. But yeah, I've made roller coasters. I have a lot of unfinished projects, so if this park it does finish way before Planet Coaster 2 gets released, I have a Voltron type coaster, a Mayan Voltron type coaster that can be finished. I have a Gerstlauer like mine mystery mine type coaster. So those two coasters can still get finished right now. So, but yeah, I really want to get a start to this YouTube channel before Planet Coaster 2 gets released, and I know I'm seeing a lot of people that are now trying to get their final park in or get their final project in. So yeah, but yeah, that's basically it. So like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and yeah, goodbye.